What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 5. So yeah, you guys, first order of business this weekend. I have got to get my windows tinted. The back part, the black part of the top, they're saying that it's tinted, but it has to be the very lightest tint. It doesn't look like it's tinted at all. And then, of course, this back seat and the front has no tint. So everybody can see in the car. Yeah, it's making shit. It's a distraction for me. But you see how bright that window. I mean, do that look like that's tinted? I was like, you motherfuckers done charge $300 for some shit that don't even look like it's done. So anyway, you guys, it's been an interesting day. It's just been an interesting day. I won't complain because it's nothing that any of you guys can change for me. So we're just gonna get to the review. Let's get to it, shall we? Now that Cynthia's getting this divorce, she's decided that she is moving out of the marital home because Peter wants her to do that. It is a requirement. It's a stipulation of their divorce. I was like, nah, okay. If that's what you want us to believe, we're going to roll with that. But if my memory serves me correct, I might be wrong. But isn't that Cynthia's house anyway? I mean, didn't Peter move into her house? Or maybe she got his name added. But I thought originally that was her place and that he moved in. But whatever it is. She's selling the house because she says Peter wants her to not live there with another man. Okay, I think it's probably a combination of other reasons. One, the house is too accessible. She is now a celebrity reality star. She is too easy to get to. I mean, I don't know exactly where that house is, but I have an idea of the area, and I'm sure a lot of people can just look at that area on TV and know where she is. So you can't just have any random motherfuckers pulling up to your place. So she has to move. Part of it also is because she's, making more money now. I'm sure she could afford a nice in a better area, because she was definitely in an urban area. Not that all urban areas was bad, but you know how it could be with your cousins. We now know that she purchased this house. It's off the 400. I think somewhere out near, it looks like it's, Roswell, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta. Looks like it's going in that direction. And it's a beautiful home. Good for her. Good for Noelle. They look like they're going to be happy there. I've seen pictures of it already. But as far as the show is concerned, she's just looking at the place right now. And it has a lake. And the rooms are spacious, and it's a beautiful place. So good for Cynthia, okay? Moving on up. I guess now she is not going to move to Los Angeles like she originally thought she would. And that's probably because she needs to stay her ass on this show. Girl, don't move to L.A. And if you in L.A., you are not going to be a Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore, even though you ain't a housewife at all. So that's pretty much it for Cynthia. Then for Sheree, Cairo, okay? That is her... 19-year-old son who got himself caught up in a little bit of trouble over a certain particular weekend. He was caught driving drunk. Okay, and we saw it all over the blog. So now we're seeing the conversation that Sheree had with Cairo. So she meets him at the park, and she sits him down, and she talks to him about how upset she is that she got a call that he was in jail, about drunk driving. You're smoking weed, you're hanging out with your friends. Like, this is not how I raised you. Okay, well, none of us raise our children to be getting high and then getting caught, She said, damn it, we done been to the Million Man March and everything. You see all that's going on. You see how quickly a situation can turn bad, okay, and you still go out there and do that. You have got to do better. You've got to work harder to make better decisions. And I'm sure Cairo already knows this. This is stuff that we try to pound into our children's head. The fact of the matter is, children get out sometimes and they do whatever the fuck they feel like doing, even though they know better. Even as adults, okay, even I can say that I have been guilty of driving while under the influence. I don't do it anymore, but I have done it in the past, and it's just been by the grace of God that nothing happened. I can tell you, well, okay, we're going to leave that alone, but but yeah, it's important for our youth to know that you just cannot make these decisions anymore. It's just too many bad things that can happen, both to you or to somebody else. I mean, you could definitely take a person's life, or you can kill yourself, or you can do a combination of the two. So anyway, she's telling him that ain't much Cairo can say. Okay, she tells him he needs to sit down and talk to his daddy. Okay, so she takes him over to the daddy house, and we think that Bob is fixing to, impart some wisdom. At first, he starts off a little shaky. He was like, so when I, was younger and I was playing football and, I wanted to smoke weed, I went and got me a medical card. That way I can do the shit legally and nobody... Are you telling him to go get a card so that you can, I mean, I don't think, can you even do that in Georgia? I'm not even sure. Even medicinal purposes, I don't think weed is legal. But whatever. Bob told him that, and Sheree just sitting there looking like, wait a minute, this is not exactly the approach that I wanted to take. And even with those cards, you guys, I promise you, like when I have smoked in the past, there is absolutely no way that I needed to be behind a wheel. I don't give a fuck if the doctor said that I could. Okay, so how do the cards work? Is it that you have to be somewhere you still can't be behind the wheel? Because when I smoked weed, again, it was in the past, because it makes me so almost like a fucking zombie. I can't see, I can't think straight, I'm tired, I'm just sort of like zoned out completely. So I don't even think that anybody should be driving while under the influence of marijuana, even if they are excused by their car. But okay, so anyway, Bob finally brings it back around and says, you hanging with your homeboys, this is not the responsible way to do things, okay? You hanging with your homeboys, you guys in the car, y'all out driving, okay? And this is what happens. So, you've got to be a stronger man than that, and you've got to make choices. Sometimes your friends might not like it, but you just can't be going around smoking weed and driving at the same time. So they ask him, how does he feel? Okay, and Cairo comes up with, well, I know I got to be a better man, and I've got to make better decisions. Okay, smoke when I'm at home with my dad. I mean, it was a teaching moment for us all, right? We got to make sure that our kids know that you cannot be driving under the influence. And then as far as Kandi is concerned, she's frustrated that the OLG, Old Lady Gang restaurant, is not open yet. They were supposed to be open on May 10th. I'm assuming we right around sometime in the end of August now. Right now, we are about 3 months behind in construction. And that means that they're not making any return on the money that they've already spent, or mostly Kandi. She said that she has invested a lot of her money into this restaurant. I am so nervous about this restaurant for Kandi, because all you hear is that restaurants fail. People invest a lot of their own personal money in there, and if they don't have experience running something like that, I mean, we've seen it time and time and time again. All of these celebrities out here, nobody has been, I mean, Justin's was the spot to be, and I told you guys, Justin's fell through. Frank Skeets, which was a local DJ here, his thing fell through after Justin's. Ludacris's restaurant fell through. Jermaine Dupri's restaurant fell through. Recently, T.I.'s restaurant fell through. So it's like you just see a list of people it's happening to, and now Kandi and Todd are, you hoping that they're not going to suffer the same fate. Okay, she's stressed the fuck out about this restaurant though, and I would be too. Now, Peter comes on down. I was like, well, Peter still got him a little bit of check, even though they say the men don't get no money from it. But, Peter show up. He real shiny. Look at him with his pink shirt on. Peter's a good-looking guy, y'all. I know y'all like to call him, what is his name? Child, I can't even. What is Uncle Ben? He don't look like Uncle Ben. Maybe a little bit. Anyway, Peter comes down there. He's going to lend his professional advice, because he's been doing this over 30 years. I said, Peter, child, don't let us start talking about your shit that fell through. I mean, I can remember he had a nice place called Upscale. It was also named in conjunction with the magazine out here, and it was a beautiful place, and it was a happening spot. That shit fell through, and I remember when it fell through, and he, they just shut the fucking doors. The people was down there working, and they was like, okay, that's it. Same thing happened with his bar. Went like I keep telling y'all. But he said he got the experience, all right? Oh, and you know what? Ludacris supposedly now has a place at the airport. His chicken and beer, I think that's the name of it. He has something at one of the terminals there. So hopefully that'll, I ain't hoping bad on nobody. So hopefully that'll be successful for him. I'm just saying, that's a lot of money to be losing. So he goes all through the building. He's looking at it. Oh, yeah, this is nice. Okay, this is nice. Okay. Oh, yeah, this space is good. You can have day parties. I was like, is this your your wisdom of, your knowledge on the subject that nobody else can give? This is the same shit I would say. Like, oh, yeah, girl, this is nice. I was just, Peter, you ain't telling this nigga something he don't already know. But they let Peter do it, We just happy to see Peter, I guess. And then afterwards, Todd is talking to him about what's going on with you and Cynthia. Peter says, well, you know what? She got her thing with her career. I got my thing with my career. And, it wasn't working together no more. Okay. But I will tell you that Cynthia never really supported me and the things that I wanted to do. So, that ultimately came between us. I was just like, wow. I feel like he kind of threw Cynthia under the bus because Cynthia, at least in front of the cameras, Cynthia has been there for him. And he just kind of put himself in that position of people looking at him as being a person that used him. Now, I mean, she can't help what people say about him. I mean, she was there as the wife. Didn't she help him invest some money in the first place in that upscale restaurant that I was talking about, y'all? So I don't know if she didn't support him so much as that she was burned once, and then she was just like, fuck it, you on your own on this. Okay, so I don't know. He just basically told Todd, you got to be careful letting those kind of things come between your relationship. So then Todd starts to get worried, like, well, damn, me and Kandi are around each other a lot. We work together a lot. I don't want us to have the same problem that, they had. Now, later on at home, Kandi and Todd are there. And again, Kandi is telling us how stressed out she is about this restaurant still not opening. Who should drop by but Joyce? And Joyce got a little surprise for him. If you two have some time, I got something set up for you. Then she goes on to tell us, they work so hard. At least Kandi does. And I just thought they needed a little romance. I know Kandi probably is as rusty as a train pipe. I was like, I don't want my mom to know anything about my train pipes and all. TMI. So she takes him over to their guest home, I believe it is, and she's got it all set up, all romantical and everything is, and of course she's got the bedroom Kandi set up. Kandi is impressed. This is cute. And so, Joyce was like, I got the baby, don't worry about it. She leaves them to it. Okay, so I guess Kandi, getting in the spirit of what it is, Kandi ain't never seen a reason why she shouldn't fuck her man. She goes back to the house and she put her some lingerie on, okay? And while she's trying to sneak back out, Joyce sees her. Kandi was just like, well, since you set it up real nice over there, I thought I would come and change clothes. Joyce, you gonna have to let me borrow that when you finish. Not with the booty juice and the coochie juice on it. No way, Joyce. How about we get you a new one? So they over there, and first Kandi and Todd are talking about, their relationship and how really they the only married couple still left. I mean, Peter and Cynthia are still married, but they're going through a divorce, and everybody else is just them. Okay, but they make a pact that they're not gonna let all the shit that's going on around them tear their marriage apart. And I truly hope that's true, because man, we have seen it on these reality shows. I think if marriages are able to get off before shit starts to fall apart, then they might not get affected. But it just seems like everybody tries to stay on so long, and that eventually their marriage comes under attack. And then they get to the business at hand. Todd is painting some chocolate shit on her ass, and then look at it. I said, oh Lord, I don't want y'all to show this on the TV. I was just like, okay, enough. And thank God, after he started licking it off, they cut to something else. Okay, thank God for small favors. I love Kandi too, but I ain't trying to see her ass get eaten like groceries. Now, Phaedra, we see her talking to Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. That is her mentor. That's the lady that she's working with. Remember when they went to go talk to her at the Million Man March? Okay, so this is the woman that she's working with and mentoring her on her foundations and, all of that. So she's talking to her on the phone about yet another killing. I'm not sure exactly which killing they were talking about at the time. It's so many of them, you guys, which is a sad thought in and of itself. She tells Congresswoman Wilson that she is going to be coming to the DNC. Okay, because she feels like there is some work there for her to do. After she gets off the phone with Congresswoman Wilson, Portia comes on by. They sit down and have a little girl talk. Okay, first about dating. Okay, well, Portia, what's going on with you and trying to get pregnant?
Well, Todd still want to wait and see. I'm not really sure if we gonna do it. He wants to be a couple, but I just want a baby.
Bless Portia heart. Okay, that bitch sure was sharp though. Ooh, that Portia be looking good all the time. Flawless. Anyway, she starts to talk to Phaedra about her dating. Okay, and Phaedra was like, you gonna have to give me some pointers. I said, bitch, I know you know how to do that shit all by yourself. But if you want to say Portia need to give you some pointers, we gonna roll with that too. After they finish that discussion, she tells her that she's going to the DNC and she invites Portia to go. And Portia says she would love to because,
being the granddaughter of Hosea Williams, politics and civil rights run through my veins.
I was like, girl, that would run through your veins? Girl, all this time we thought it was unicorn pee and Chanel No. 5 perfume mixed in with some air. Lastly, Phaedra tells her, that she also, while she's doing this whole DNC thing, that she's got to talk to Apollo because Apollo still don't want to get this divorce. I was like, bitch, somebody that told you wrong. Poor Phaedra. I mean, just putting her foot in her mouth, considering the recent turn of events. But she says that he's been blocking it for over a year. And, she's just got to get some closure on this whole divorce thing. So, to make a long story short, Portia and Phaedra, they go down there to the DNC, frickin' frack, or getting all political. She, has her camera and she's recording different things. Then we get serious, they have like this meeting where Phaedra is on the panel, and they're discussing Ossian. Bravo almost got a now Mona bitch moment right there because it was a whole bunch of people there that's been on reality shows or TV, and it was just obvious that Bravo has set it up. Okay, they had the judge. What the fuck is his name? I can't think of it. Okay, they had Jamal Bryant. They had Phaedra. They had this congresswoman who now has been on Real Housewives of Atlanta a bit. So I was just like, all right, I know it's just basically for the purpose of the show, of them talking about, gun violence and how it affects our men. And that's why we're going to give it a pass, because even if the shit was set up, it's never a wrong time to talk about gun violence. Well, I can't get my words out. It's never a bad time to talk about how we can curtail gun violence against our black men, against everybody, of course, but in this discussion, our black men. And then after it's over, Portia tells her that she gotta go because she gotta go to Chicago for Dish. But you know what, girl, you doing good, you got it. As if she needed a vote of confidence from Portia. Kenya, she's hired a cake decorator to come by the house because it's her man Matt's birthday, and she wants to make him a cake. And it's got to be all jazzed up. As a matter of fact, he lost his Gucci belt. Okay, so she thought that she would make him a Gucci cake with the Gucci belt on it, and then she would replace his Gucci belt that he lost. Okay, and that's very important considering he used 2 weeks worth of salary to get it. Them Gucci belts is high. I was looking at one for my husband. I said, motherfucker. But whatever, she's invited Cynthia. And who was the other person there? Wasn't there somebody else there? Oh, God. I was so fucking distracted by Cynthia's hair, you guys. I cannot, I will not, I refuse to. Now, listen, I love me a natural hairdo just as much as the next bitch do. Okay? That was not no afro. That shit looked like when you just brush out some hair. It was just, I be trying, but I was just like, she look a fucking mess. Like, it's entirely too much. It was too much. But you know what? I saw people tweeting about it. They loved it. I said, girl, okay, if you like it, I love it. After they do their little class, Kenya says that she's going to have a couples event. She wants to go ATV, and so that automatically cuts you out, Cynthia. But she's going to invite Kandi, and she invites also Nina and Ariel, so they slowly trying to get Nina and Ariel in. We ain't got a storyline on them yet, but they just bringing them in as a friend. Definitely won't have Sheree's thunder thighs and big ass Bob trying to shove their asses into some damn ATV. I was like, ooh. I mean, Sheree is not big to me. As a matter of fact, Sheree and Kenya's body, it's not the same, but they can't weigh. Neither one of them are overweight. So I just. Now, later on, Kenya calls Cynthia, after Cynthia tells her about her house that she saw, then she goes on to tell Cynthia about this fight that she had with her young stud, Matt. Okay, and let me just tell you how stupid it is. So we know that Kenya was a known personality. She was Miss America. Is that what she was? Before she came on this show. We've seen her on sitcoms. We've seen her as extras in, movies and all of this. Yet and still, She posted a Throwback Thursday picture on Instagram of her and Jay-Z, and Matt got upset about it. I guess he was jealous, okay? I don't think that this is the reason why they were fighting, but this was the reason that they used on the TV show, which makes Matt look even stupider. He had to have known. I've seen that picture plenty of times. I think she's even posted it a few times before. Why the fuck you getting mad about here posting a picture with Jay-Z? Jay-Z with Beyonce, he ain't never gonna fuck around with Kenya. Why would you feel threatened? So that's why I was just like, that's some bullshit, okay? You know good and damn well this nigga ain't got mad about this picture, but that's what they said. And now I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, if that was really truly the reason that, you know, he got upset, why the fuck is you with this young ass boy? And see, this is the whole thing. Too fucking old to be sitting up here arguing over a goddamn Instagram post. And I'm only saying all this if we was really believing what the fight was about. But, you know, she says that he get to kicking on walls and, you know, busting down doors. And do we really need this in our fucking life? What do I tell you guys all the time? In my second half of my life, a bitch want peace. Life can be quite boring. And I'm okay with that. I don't need a motherfucker cussing me out all the time. I would be fucking scared to death if somebody was beating up a wall and hitting a door. Really? That is somebody that is unstable. And that's how she's trying to paint Matt. So that's why this whole thing is just, they ain't gonna get my blood pressure up today, you guys, I promise you. But Kenya and Matt, she should be embarrassed of trying to talk about the things that they go through, considering she's always painted herself as this strong black woman. I know we sometimes falter when we get with a man, okay? But bitch, this is a whole lot of faltering you doing. Now, Kenya got this couple event. It's the ATV event, right? Kandi and Todd show up. Nina and RL show up. She there. Ain't no fucking Matt. How the hell you having a couples event? You ain't even a goddamn couple. You might as well call Cynthia and told her to come on down. She said that she didn't want to cancel the event because it would look worse. So, you know, of course, everybody was asking her, like, where's Matt? Isn't this for his birthday? And she was just like, well, you know, it was his birthday, and he decided he wanted to, you know, surprise his sister in L.A., so that's where he is. Okay, they all just like, They get the ATV and, you know, Kenya love a good time. You know, she's having a good time. She's extra competitive. She always wants to win. She is in the car with Ariel. I mean, in the ATV with Ariel. I was like, where's Nina? Did she not get into the thing? I couldn't understand what was going on there. I thought maybe they was changing partners, but Kandi and Todd was in theirs together. So I don't know. Maybe Nina was like, I ain't getting in that shit. You ain't fixing to, you know, tip this motherfucker over and break my goddamn nose like like Hazel Lee did. Bust her whole fucking grill and face and shit up. So Nina might have been like, that's okay. Finally, when it's over and they sit down, they get their food. You know, Kandi, she ain't falling for the okie doke. Okay, Kenya, tell the truth. What happened to Matt? And Kenya was just like, well, okay, you know, we've been having these problems. You know, he feels threatened a lot. You know, Todd, let me ask you, you ain't had shit before you got with Kandi. How did you handle it, you know, with her being the boss and her having all these millions of dollars and you ain't had shit to your name? You came in and was benefiting from Kandi. You know, Kandi was just shaking her head because I was just like, this could, you know, if Todd was a different kind of person, that shit could have went wrong, you know, could have went left. But Todd was just like, you know what? Kandi is the celebrity. I know my lane and I stay in it, okay? It ain't even about me. It was about Kandi and being here and being supportive for her. And I was like, see, that's why Todd, you know, when all the other bullshit is out the way, he is just such a level-headed good guy for Kandi. So Kenya says, well, you know what? They got to figure out, you know, that delicate part of their relationship to her and Matt. Now, during this time that they are at the ATV place and, you know, having the... Now, during the same time, while they're talking about, you know, relationships and all, we see Phaedra. She is going to visit Apollo in the jail, and she's nervous. She's like, she don't never really know how to handle this when she goes to visit him. I was like, ain't this your second time? Let Apollo say it. He say that he don't never see her. So she's anxious and she's nervous, and then she gets a call. Okay, her assistant is just like, well, somebody came down here and said they was gonna blow the building up because, you know, they wanted to talk to you. They was gonna blow you up. I was like, that's some shit you don't need to hear when your nerves already fucking bad. And we already talked about this on Top of the Blogs, and you know that Phaedra spun it, right? And remember she said that he didn't say that he had a bomb. It was some shit about, you know, a mixture in words, and that he was saying some shit like, you know, it was the bomb, his music that he had. He wanted to hear it. Y'all remember that bullshit, right? But on the show, while Phaedra's away and her assistant is telling her this, you know, that completely throws Phaedra off. Me, it would completely throw me off as well. First thought is that she's got to get in touch with her mom and make sure that her mom and her kids are safe. But then it jumps back to the ATV ranch and Carmen calling Kandi and letting her know what's going on. So Kandi was just like, well, how about Carmen just called me and told me that somebody came down to Phaedra's office and threatened to throw up the building. Throw up, y'all. Blow up the building. Okay. Blow up the building. That's bad. Kenya and everybody was like, what? And she was just like, no, it was on the news and everything. So Kandi was trying to explain to y'all that this ain't no bullshit. This is really what's happening. You know, even Kenya said, damn, I feel bad. I mean, blowing up, that shit would have me so rattled if somebody told me that they was going and then showed up at my job. Talk about some shit was the bomb. I'd be a fucking shade of themselves. But anyway, it jumps back to Phaedra. You know, she calls her mom, and you know, Pastor Regina Bell says, I wish a motherfucker would come up in this place. I would shoot his ass. That's not what she said. You know, she was just like, we safe. The alarm is on. Okay, I understand that you're upset, but you know, let me pray for you and make sure that you're okay. Okay, so the mom prays for her, and you know, it seems to center Phaedra a little bit more. I feel bad for Phaedra, and then right after that happened, you know, Apollo calls and she tells him what happens, and you know that the kids are there. She's just trying to figure everything out, but you know what? She's on her way into the jail, so she'll see him in a second. I hate having these windows open. Oh, I got to get these damn things tinted. Anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.